what I need to do now is make the front tasset piece. This attaches to the front of the breastplate, so I gotta cut this piece out. Already drew that one out. And then also the back plate needs a crupper plate, like just a tail plate for it. So I gotta cut this piece out as well. And this is out of a 20 gauge cold rolled steel. Okay, gonna go cut these pieces out. All right. These are my Beverly shears. Then I have to remember to flatten them out before I grind the edges, or sand them down. So any edges sticking out, I just make sure they're flat. Okay, so I'll probably pre-drill some of these holes out and then do the sanding to clean them up, ready to hammer them into shape. Okay, here comes the boring part. Okay, my plan is to roll and rope these while they're flat, and then I'll hammer them out into shape after that. So it's a lot easier to roll and rope them while they're flat, so here we go. This is the backplate. It's called kind of a crupper plate. Crupper is usually several of these plates, but this is just the one. There, that's the first pass. And the front plate just needs it right here at the loop. Make sure you get the right side. And then the second pass deeper. Give it a really good definition. Okay, almost done. And I'm going to leave this center part I'll define with the chisel. Okay, on to roping. Okay, so I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, usually I work from this side, it goes sort of going forward. That way I could see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start at the back here. Got my roping chisel. But as usual, this has to do with skill. And you have to, which means you have to do it several times to be able to get better at it. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. So you can kind of see now what I'm doing. So I just carry on. And yeah, this decorative roping edging is always easier to do it flat. If you're going to form it, you have to take that into consideration, thinking that you might deform it or ruin your job. But I know from forming these, it's not a lot of stretching here, just mostly on the ends, so it's not going to ruin the roping look. Kind of shows you how long it takes to. Almost done. All right, so we're getting close to finishing this. This is the front tacit plate. Work on that first. So what we want to do is we want to conform it to the front of this breastplate here. So we're going to have to bend it over, and then just on the ends only, pretty much we're going to have to hammer it out a little bit. That's what stage we're at. You see it's starting to curve over like that. Do that to both sides. Yeah, just by basically hammering is kind of giving it a nice curve to it as well. So. We'll take all the bumps out later, but see how close this is getting. Getting close. So what we'll do is I'll probably planish those bumps out, and then we'll mark the hole to make it so it'll start conforming to the breastplate. So now that we got that started, we'll do the same to the backplate. This little crupper plate here, I'll give it a rough hammering out too. It's very similar, it's just mostly the hammering the ends. The two ends. Like that. And the other side. Yeah, it's just tricky because you have to think being symmetrical, like whatever I do to this side, I have to do the same amount of hammering to the other side. So you have to have a good eye. And yeah, kind of a good feel. So we'll check this out. It's close. So yeah, I'll planish out the bumps and then I'll make it conform a little bit better on the second pass. All right, so at this point, I've drilled the holes onto the back plate and breastplate and temporarily bolted in place. So I'm doing the final planishing now, getting all the little dents out of it. So try to smooth it as much as I can. One of the subtle things you don't see is I'm trying not to hit it too hard. That's why I don't have a heavy hammer here, because I don't want to stretch the metal. I just want to get all the creases and little dents out of it. Okay, so that's the back crupper plate, and then the front fauld or tasset plate. Just going to clean that up. Alright, so we're at a point here where we're going to attach the fauld and the backplate to the larger breastplate and backplate pieces. So I marked it and drilled it, and we're going to just temporarily bolt it in place with these nuts and bolts again. And then that way we could see if they conform well enough. And then we're going to try to, there you can see, clean it up pretty good. That's the breastplate, and then I have to do the same to the backplate here. Yeah, I don't want to commit to putting brass rivets there yet until we know everything is working perfect. Yeah, so, and then I've got a special hook pin system. Got a little bit of movement, which is fine. We don't need a lot. So from here, these holes were pre-drilled out before, these ones here. So I marked it in the back plate now so that we could attach them together. And again, it's going to be just a temporary bolt to hold it in place. Do that on both sides. Like this. So how these are going to be attached is normally it would be a belt and a buckle system, usually attached out like that. As you can see, it conforms pretty good. It comes like this, and then probably that droop piece card comes down at the front here, there, but everything seems to be fitting fine. So for this pin system here is I'm going to have a hook and pin, and then just a registration pin that goes in here. And I have a bunch pre-made, but I'm just going to describe how they work. As far as the upper pin here, it'll be just like a registered pin, so it'll be riveted in place there and stay. And then for the bottom one, it's actually got a hook and a hole through this pin here, so it'll come through, and then the hook will hold it in place. It'll spin and hook. But again, they'll be custom made for each other. So as usual, these have to be custom made, and then sort of the hooks. So for the next part, I'll show you how to do that system right there. All right, so now that we've drilled out the appropriate holes here. It's the larger one with the hole in it comes in the bottom. Have to make sure it's got enough room, you know, you need some play there. And then the registered pin is at the top, like this. It's a little smaller and it goes through the top part here. So what we have to do is attach these to the backplate. So we'll do the top one first, which is the registration pin. Sort of hold it in place in the right spot. So these are flat heads on them. Makes it easier to rivet. If I can, I usually use a washer. So yeah, these are fixed rivets, so they're hammered on pretty hard. Now we have to do the same with this one here. This one's a little more tricky because we have to make sure it's spun the right direction. So we basically just do an initial hammering on it to get it to start staying in one spot. That's the idea. Sure. Stays in one spot. It's tricky, like I said. We don't want it to be too fixed yet, so because we have to make sure that the hook will go in it, so it's there just enough so that we can spin it in place, but it sort of stays in one spot. So I want it to be totally vertical here, like that. Okay, now we can hammer it in place, fixed rivet. Double check it. Yep, okay. So, once they're in place, I did this side already so you can see. The top one just basically holds it in place, it registers it. And the bottom one is the one with the hole in it. So, again, that's when we put the hook in there and we mark it and drill it out. And as usual, because until we know for sure everything works, we've got to just temporarily bolt it in place. And that way we can try it. Make sure it functions right. So this is where we're at. So when the breast and backplate are put together, they got the registered holes. Gonna hold it in the right spot for us. Because this is a display model, like I said. So normally they would have a belt system, belt with a buckle, but because this is a display model, we just want it to stay in one spot so it can easily get locked in place. So that's where we're at.